Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Well, it's Winks Saturday again this weekend, Mike. She's shooting for 20 straight, and I think the whole country knows about this horse now. If they haven't, they've been under a rock because I don't know where they've been hiding. And Chautauqua, so good to have him on the program too. He's won the last 3 TJs, and is it in this Big Grey's destiny to win the Everest in a couple of weeks' time?
That's huge, isn't it? I mean, Winks is going for some massive prize money for the rest of the spring, but what about Chautauqua? Only a few weeks away, the Everest. He's won 3 TJ Smiths. He's already a champion. He'll be racing legend if he wins the first Everest. Not an easy task for him, though. Brenton Avdulla takes the ride for the first time this campaign. He's not an easy ride either.
He's not, but the gun, I've got faith in him. I reckon he'll get the job done. And speaking of the gun, I mean, how good was he last week? He can survive a protest, or put in an argument for a protest for that perspective. $1,448 in the kitty last weekend. Job done.
That was great. So much drama on track, on social media. We agreed with the protest result, but then I guess we would, wouldn't we?
We would, because he got us to collect.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great result, and fair play to the stewards in that result. They came online a few days later and showed some accountability and why the result was called that way. So great from the stewards there.
Yeah, really good from them. And look, he got the kitty started last weekend. It's great to be back for the spring, but we've got to rip into it again, and we've got to get this Quaddie home again, Mike. And the first leg of the Quaddie this weekend, it starts with Winks. You could as well call it a treble. It's the Optic White Stakes over the 1,600 metres. The last time she was in a Quaddie, I think it paid around $45. So, but Josh Parr, I mean, this is the big question here. He went out hard on Red Excitement last time. What if he goes 10 lengths clear again this weekend?
He could. Red Excitement's absolutely flying. He was winning so much last preparation. Maybe not flying as much as the girl Winks, though. Let's have a look at the way this race sets up. Starting with the race day, plus 9 metres the rail. A good track. It could be a little bit near pace, but we're hoping it's going to be a fair bias on Saturday. There's a little bit of a wind. It's quite windy in Sydney at the moment.
Yep.
As they're coming down the side, it'll be in their face a little bit down the straight. So watch out if that has any effects. Maybe you need some cover. Group 1, 1,600 metres, fair, good, the fair bias we just talked about. Across to the 3 key factors to kick us off in this Group 1 event. Weight has to be a key factor. Weight for age, the classier types are suited. Stage of preparation, so many horses first, second, third up. And position and run. Which horse gets the gun run?
Well, let's have a look at the market here to kick things off on Saturday at Royal Randwick. And, well, each time she goes round, it's pretty much better than bank interest, isn't it? There she is, $1.08. Someone surely loves a bet. $72,000 on her at that price yesterday. Happy Clapper, well, another one to score to some wins at Randwick, right out at $11, mind you. And then Fox played, nearly took it to her fresh, but look, I think we're all just cheering to get the great mare home here.
Yeah, we're all cheering for Winks. She's such a great horse. We all want her to win, don't we? But we won't look at her first of all in the replays. We'll start off with another horse that deserves some credit as well, who was so strong first up, and he's almost as popular as the great mare herself. Happy Clapper. Ecuador leading here of 1,400 metres, getting every single possible chance. We think Happy Clapper in the dark blue, Heavens Above in the yellow outside him. Happy Clapper, Stu, a great return.
Oh, massive return. And as I said before, you don't often hear all these cheers at the races. Winks obviously gets a cheer. This horse got a cheer as well. Love to see that. Good to have the big boy back.
Yeah, amazing result. Steady tempo, so it doesn't quite suit him. It takes a while to wind up. His last 200 metres, as always, clearly better than the rest. He smashes the line. He's a great horse.
Yeah, and a couple of others running in behind outside.
Yeah, they're not too bad, but he outclassed them, I think.
All right, well, look, we've got to have a look at Winks. We're going to take you back to the Red Excitement race. This was exciting. There's Red Excitement out in front, but Winks, she knows one thing. She knows how to just keep going, and she just chased.
She's had absolutely everything against her in 2 starts this preparation. She's back in the pack with stayers. No one's giving her any lead into the race. Josh Parr looks like he went really hard in this race, but he didn't. His sectionals were so even, so perfect. He even quickened it into the turn. Winks, no lead runner at all, does it all herself. But she must know what she's doing out there, Stu. That's amazing.
She just starts eating up the ground here. Everyone was on their feet. Just another great racing display to witness at the track.
Yeah, you think Happy Clapper hits the line? Well, look at that. Eased up, too easy.
Yeah, well, good old Huey. Let's have a look at these gold bars, Mike. Is she just gold across the page for this mighty mare?
Let's have a look at her. I mean, straight away, it's so unfair. She gets weight off most of these horses' weight. She's much classier horse. She should be carrying a massive handicap. So a huge gold bar for weight. Stage of preparation. Even scarier, she's third up with improvement to come after those first 2 runs. So really scary thought. Maybe the one slight risk, barrier 1 for a horse that settles midfield.
Okay, yeah.
If there's a horse on her outside, there's a small chance Huey will get stuck. Red Excitement, Ecuador, and McIntosh, they get better runs near the pace, maybe.
All right, yeah, a lot of talk about that inside barrier. Is that a small chink in the armour? Maybe it is. Is the man with the $72,000 bet on shaking? Let's have a look at these overall ratings. Well, no, I think he's pretty safe. She is clearly on top, and, mate, what else can we say? She's just the best.
Well, she is the best. She's, 3.5 lengths there. She's probably classier than that. That's game over. We often look for place bets in these races, don't we? Looking for horses that might run second or third. Le Remain's one of our favourites, but he's not here on Saturday. And it's really stacked, so quite hard to differentiate between those. So going for our best bet, uncomplicated, better than bank interest. She's the best mare in the world. She's the best horse in the world, we think. Winx is the best bet. And out of those horses for a place bet, maybe Ecuador gets the run behind Red Excitement. Big odds for a place. He might be worth a gamble. All
right, the place bets, as you said, they can always come up trumps. Well, there's a good look at Winx to start things off. We go from the best horse in the world to one of the best sprinters in the world. It's Shataka in the shorts, and Darren Flindell. I mean, he obviously gets so excited with some of these calls with Shataka over the last few years. In the TJ, we've had Here We Go Boom in 2015. We've had another boom right over the top in 2016, and then we all remember just a few months ago. Yes, there's history as he capped off the hat trick.
Good memories, Stu. You are a horse racing nut, aren't you? He's such an exciting horse to watch. Just his racing style, it's almost made for Group 1 drama, isn't it? This is a Group 2 on Saturday, so maybe a bit easier for him. 1,100 metres, a fair tempo with Redzell going forward. Good conditions and a fair bias is the forecast on Saturday. Across to the three key factors based on those conditions. Weight has to be a key factor again for most of these races on Saturday. Set weights, the classier types are suited, stage of preparation. So many horses are fresh into this race. And a good track. Some of these horses, surprisingly, prefer it soft.
All right, well, let's have a look at the market. And we know the money came from Redzell in the Concord a couple of weeks ago. And the same thing has happened again. In from $3.20 to $2.40. So some good money there for Redzell. Shataka the Grey right there at $3.70. English off her two trials at $4. And then right out in the market there to take down a little bit of money there for Fell Swoop today. But look, the punters often don't get let down by Redzell.
Yeah, Redzell's such a reliable type. So massive during the winter, wasn't he? Putting good run after good run. And he came back first up at Randwick a couple of weeks ago. And we'll see how he went. Quite deceiving this run. You think in a four-horse field, he might be getting an easy time in the front with some steady sections, but he's not a horse that does that. He rolls along at a fair tempo, even a strong tempo this day, making sure every other horse had their chance, but they couldn't get him, Stu.
No, well, I mean, Nieta was one of those, just rolled off the rail here, but just, over that 50 metres, couldn't really do much.
Yeah, she's a strong mare. She's got some power, like Spieth on her outside. They're both quick and okay. They both come into the race, but Redzell, too strong, too tough, too much class. He always finds a line. A great horse.
Oh, that is very good to watch there from Redzell. Another great horse we just have to mention here is Shataka. Let's go back and have a look at this horse. Not in any of those big races we've mentioned. This is, though, back in February. It's in the Rubiton Group 2, back near last, as he always is, and coming home.
Yeah, same distance, same conditions, good track, 1,100 metres fresh last prep. So we've got to have a look at this. They had a steady section at the start of this race, so you might think it's disappointing this run, but he ran 11 seconds, 11 seconds, 11 seconds, 11 seconds to finish off. He just keeps coming. That run was pretty good. We think he's still good fresh.
Pretty good there. Let's see how that's going to all weigh up for this weekend at Randwick as we have a look at these key factors and take us through the gold. Not much by the look of it, Mike.
Yeah, no gold for Redzell, but no big knocks either. Kind of gold stairs across the page, isn't there? Shataka gets the gold bar for weight. He's the classy sprinter at his best. He just wins. Stage of preparation. English gets a gold bar for that. Takedown, a gold bar for good. But maybe he needs a run. Looking back to English, there's a bit of a negative there. She's had her last 5 starts on good tracks. She hasn't been placed. Maybe at Group 1 and Group 2 level, she needs a soft track.
All right, so it looks as though the big grey rate's best on that page there. Out of the 3 favourites, the big question mark there on English as we have a look over to the overall ratings, and it is the big grey on top. Shataka at 11.5, just over the ever-reliable Redzell there. We've got a leader and a swooper. But potentially here, Mike, we think the leader could get caught.
We hope the Big Grey can do it ahead of the Everest and really get the excitement in the marketing guys. Really excited about the race in a few weeks' time. Shataka coming from the back, Redzell out in the lead. It's all about tempo and bias, but hopefully Redzell rolls along. He always does, and hopefully the track's fair on Saturday. If it is, that last 150 metres is going to be electric, isn't it? Shataka to win, just in case he doesn't quite get there. The Quinella is a good value bet.
All right, another big booming finish from the Grey and a value bet there in the Quinella. We saw it pay well last week with Pariah and Minari last week. There's a look at the first 2 legs of the Quaddie this weekend at Randwick. Stick around and we'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au as we have a look at the Quaddie this weekend from Royal Randwick. We're up to the Kingstonstown Stakes. It's the third leg, and look, a lot of these runners, Mike, they've chased Winks home their last few, but they won't be seeing her rump in this. But we've just got to see a few of these. I mean, we've got Chicante, Antonio Giuseppe, Life Less Ordinary. They've all finished 3rd, 4th and 5th in that race. That's surely pretty good form for this. And outside of this Winks form, I mean, I see the big Roller Classic uniform there. He's always good for a place.
Oh, he's an easy horse to like, isn't he? Classic uniform. He sticks. Will he stick over 2,000 metres? They were Group 3 on Saturday. A fair tempo with the likes of him rolling forward, making sure it's fair. A lot of these races are fair tempos, aren't they? Good conditions and a fair bias. The forecast on Saturday across the 3 key factors for this 2,000 metre Group 3 event. Weight again. Set weight, so the classy types are suited. And these key factors looking very similar, aren't they, Stu? Stage of preparation. A lot of these stay is 2nd or 3rd up. Whether they're primed will make the difference, and position runs a key factor too. All
right, well, as we have a look at the market for this race, as I said, no Winks, and it's pretty much game on for a few of these. Antonio Giuseppe heads the market there, really solid, $3.40. Chicante, well, stuffed up many trifectas in that Winks race the other week at $3.70. Life Less Ordinary, there's a little bit of money there, in from about $4.50. Then a huge gap in the market, out to Mega Blast, but look, who can step up with no Winks here, Mike?
Yeah, one of those 3 by the market. Judging by the market, isn't it? I mean, there's only 3 horses in the market, and a couple of them come through this last replay. So we've got to look at this Winks replay we looked at before. Almost 2 races, isn't it? Winks and Red Excitement we looked at before. A few lengths behind are the horses we're zooming in on now. Chicante in the blue, sticking on pretty well for one of the on-pace horses. Antonio Giuseppe 3 wide, no cover in the yellow and black the whole way, fighting on pretty well. Life Less Ordinary just behind him in the red caps.
Yeah, it's Life Less Ordinary coming down. You've got to look for Libran right out wide as well. He finishes strongly, but yeah, this is really just a race in behind Winks.
Yeah, Antonio Giuseppe we think was the 3rd best run in the race behind those top 2. Chicante Brave first up, but he was 80-1. Antonio Giuseppe 3 wide the whole way. Not an easy task at all.
That isn't. And another easy task, not easy task, is lining up some of these Kiwis. So we're going to have a look at Mega Blast, and we're going to take you back to, well, he's 2nd up this weekend, and last time he was he was 2nd up on a good track as well.
Yeah, you've got to look at this replay. He won first up on a heavy track so easily last prep. His last start in New Zealand, if you look at the replay, you won't see an easy win. It was massive. But what we're worried about is this run 2nd up in Melbourne last prep just isn't good enough to win the race on Saturday on a good track. The ratings around that horse were not too good.
All right, got out at the right time, though. I thought he was going to win that.
Had every chance, I think, so maybe not on Saturday.
All right, well, let's have a look at these key factors. We're looking for the gold bars here. Mike, take us through it.
It's Antonio's race based on those key factors, isn't he? He's so well weighted in this set weights event and stage of preparation. He's 3rd up after getting really hard ridden 2nd up like we just saw. The big risk for him, he's drawn wide. He's been slow to jump his last 3, 4 or 5 starts. I think it's a really bad habit he's got lately. So maybe he'll get stuck wide again. He just needs that bit of luck the first 200 or 300 metres. Chicante and Mega Blast, get the gun run near the pace. Libran and Allergy, they're quite well weighted too.
All right, the Giuseppe with the gold bars there. I know you don't like those popular horses. You say they're no value. Let's have a look at these overall ratings. And, well, there he is, Antonio Giuseppe on top from a couple of solid types there. Chicante, Mega Blast in behind. And there's Libran and Classic Uniform. They're not too far away in this mix either.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't like popular horses, do we? Antonio Giuseppe gets a lot of press inches, a lot of column inches, and he's a much-loved horse, but looking across this field, who do you go for? Chicante 2nd up. Was it a fluke first up? Mega Blast needs it wet. Libran 2nd up. Will he really be primed for this race? In Classic Uniform, 2,000 metres, a bit of a question for him. So you're just left with Big Tony. He just needs a bit of luck that first 200 or 300 metres. If he gets, I'm going to close my eyes, I think, for the first furlong. If he gets across, gets some cover, we think he just wins. This is his race on Saturday.
All right, I'm sensing a little bit of confidence here, Mike. We're putting the chips in on Giuseppe, yeah?
Yeah, we love Tony on Saturday. Back him.
All right, there's a look at the 3rd leg of that Quaddie. We've got to wrap this up. It's the tab.com.au handicap over the 1,200 metres, and, well, a lot of question marks in this full field, Mike. We've got 4 emergencies. I mean, many of these are in the market. Then there's Echo Effect back for Kristen Buchanan to be ridden quietly this weekend. The answer, my friends, still a few questions whether he's coming up from Melbourne. And there's my old mate Isa Rich. At least you know what you're going to get from this boy.
Yeah, you're going to get a bloody good place bet, won't you? And we were away a couple of weeks ago and he was on pace at massive odds and he's stuck on for a place again. Can you believe it? I wish I was over here. Benchmark 84, a sprint race on Saturday. The tempo should be fair, good conditions, and the bias should be fair as well. So across the 3 key factors based on those conditions, we're going to mix it up a bit for the last race. Scope is a key factor. A lot of these horses are 4-year-olds and 1 3-year-old on the rise. Distance, we're looking for genuine 1200 metre sprinters, and position to run a big field. We have to play that factor yet again.
All right, well, let's have a look at the market here to wrap things up. Let's hope all the punters are still alive in the last leg of the Quaddie. And, well, the answer, my friend, has come out. So, yeah, I thought so. The new favourite at $4.20. A couple of emergencies there. We've got Missile Coda at $4.60. Marsupial at $5.50. Echo Effect, always around the money. There's Rosa Carolina as well at $10, who flew home first up. But, look, it's already been a little bit reshuffled, this market, but there could be plenty more to come with these emergencies as well.
Yeah, so many questions. So hard to bet early on a Thursday night, isn't it, when you've got 2 emergencies in the top 3? But we'll try our best, and we've got a great replay to reference, at least, with a bunch of horses coming through this race into Saturday. There he is, your favourite, Stu. ISO Rich, your namesake, on pace, sticking on for a place again this start. Pumpkin Pie behind him in the yellow. Marsupial first up in the Godolphin blue, quickening into it. An Improvement, the widest, blue and white.
Yeah, Improvement down the outside. Tango Rain kicks here. We're on it this day. Look, yeah, there's ISO Rich just boxing. Marsupial, I mean, every chance here.
Yeah, probably every chance. Was great first up last prep, so maybe takes a step back second up. We're not so sure. Improvement, the one running on out wide in the blue. She's not really a Rose Hill type. She's more a Randwick type, so that runs okay.
All right, another horse we're going to have a look at is I Thought So, a real strapping type. Now the favourite for this race, and had a couple of trials, Mike, and this was a good one.
Yeah, talk about popular horses. He's well bred, he's good looking in the yard, and there's so many spooks on this horse, and these trials don't help at all, because they are amazing. He won his first trial beating one of the fastest 800 metre horses in the country, Bull of Muscle, easily to the line. And this is him throttled down in front of some really good horses, Stu.
Yeah, there's Phil Swoop on his inside, Ome Sword and Kaepernick closing late there. So that's a really nice trial. He hit the line well, under a throttle, that's the main thing.
Yeah, amazing trial. Throttled down in front of group horses in a benchmark race on Saturday.
All right, well, that means one thing. Let's have a look at the key factors to see if we can work it out a little bit more.
Well, we know he's got scope, I thought so, but a bunch of others kind of surprised us with scope as well. Missile Coda, obviously, on the way up. Marsupial, he's a 3-year-old. Echo Effect on the way up as well. An Improvement. She's such a genuine type, so you can't put a line through them. You may think one of those horses has more scope than others. If you do, back them for sure. Distance, Improvement gets a gold bar for distance. She loves the 1200 metres. Not so Rosa Carolina. And position run, not bad for Improvement too.
All right, well, that is really, really even to my eye. I'm feeling pretty nervous about this as we have a look at these overall ratings, and yeah, that's pretty much what I expected there. Stacked, stacked, stacked. Not really much room to breathe here in amongst these ratings.
Oh, it's just tight to look at, isn't it? And we get these races every week or every second week, and you've got to be honest, don't you? If you've got a special in this race, good for you, but we can't find it. I thought so. We love, but he's drawn wide. Maybe he wants 1,400 metres, we're not sure, but he'll be hard to beat. But you've got to go for value in these stacked fields. It's the only way to play them. We saw Improvement. We think she'll improve second up into Randwick 1,200 metres. She's so genuine. She's drawn well. Improvement each way is a bet for us in this last race. Can't believe she's 15 or 16 bucks. She's such a great mare. And maybe box a top 6 in your multiples. All those top raters might show up.
All right, Improvement to improve there in the last leg of the Quaddie. Look, we've got to wrap this up, Mike. There was some nervous times for me last week as we left Interlocket her out. Thought it was all over, but we really never had anything to worry about, did we?
No, we didn't. Wayanko had it in the bank all the way down the last 200 metres. Maybe not. Let's have a look at this. This Quaddie, though, 4 legs, tight, 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 and then opening up the Sydney heads for the last.
Yep, there it is.
It's all about Winks in race 6. Not too much risk there. Race 7, we're probably not risking too much there. English on a dry track we're risking, so Chautauqua and Redzell are 2 for us. The one we're going chips in on is Big Tony, Antonio Giuseppe in race 8. He's the one for us. And race 9, maybe you'll end up with 5 or 6 horses after scratchings. More than 600% for the Quaddie.
All right, chips in early, and then we're coming home wide in the last leg. It's that sort of day at Randwick. We've got some champions out there, including Winks and Chautauqua. It's been a big week for the team. We get all these good horses back. The raceguide.com.au, all your horse profiling there to go for Randwick this weekend. I can't wait to get out there. It's going to be great. We hope you jag a big piece of that Quaddie this weekend.
Cheers. Go Winks and Chautauqua.
Yep.